Okay, let's discuss about spheres. What are spheres? Spheres, it is a set of all points in space equidistant from a given point. This point is called the center of the sphere. A radius of a sphere is a segment from the center to the point of the sphere, just like the radius of a circle. A chord of a sphere is a segment whose endpoints are on the sphere. Just like the circle, chord remains inside the circle. A diameter of a sphere is a chord that contains the center, just like in a circle. The diameter is the biggest chord. A sphere is perfectly symmetrical. It has no edges and no vertices. That is why it is not a polyhedron. Let's discuss about the inside of a sphere more. As mentioned above, this is the center and this is the radius of a sphere and this chord is the diameter. This center part at which if I try to slice it, this part is called great circle. What is a great circle? Let's understand. To understand it more better, great circle is the largest circular cross section in a sphere. That means if you try to slice it along this middle of the sphere, that is called the great circle. It divides a sphere in two congruent hemispheres, up and down, because it will just open up the sphere and the upper hemisphere and the bottom hemisphere. These two circles, that is up and at the bottom, they are smaller than the great circle. That is why it is called great circle, because this is the biggest circle in the sphere. The circumference of a sphere is the circumference of a great circle. This is important. If a circumference of a sphere is given to you, that is nothing but the circumference of a great circle. Or if the circumference of a great circle is given to you, that means they are talking about the circumference of a sphere. Now, why great circles they are important? Great circle, its famous use is in geography. It is used for navigation because they represent the shortest distance between 2 points on a sphere. So great circle, they have a greater use in geography. Anyhow, now if you see, this is a baseball, and if you open a baseball, what it is nothing but the four different circles. And entire covering of the baseball is nothing but four circles, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if I ask you what is the area of a circle, area of a circle is pi r square. And how many circles are there? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if I ask you what is the area of the whole entire baseball, that means the surface area of this sphere, which is nothing but we are talking about the baseball right now, then it will be 4 times pi r square. Why? Because 4 circles and the area of a circle is pi r square. That is the same thing as surface area of a sphere. The surface area of a sphere, which is represented by S, is nothing but 4 pi r square, where r is the radius of the sphere. Okay, now volume. What is the volume of a sphere? Volume of a sphere is nothing but 4/3 pi r cube. Why cube? Because volume is represented in cubic units. So volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cube, where r is the radius of the sphere. Now let's try to use these two formulas in the questions. Let's see. Okay. In this question, they are asking you, find the volume of the sphere. Okay. What is the volume? Volume of a sphere is nothing but 4/3 pi r cube. Let's apply everything, all the information that is given to us in this formula. If the total diameter is 3, what should be the radius? Half of the diameter, because 2 times radius is nothing but the diameter. In this case, the diameter is 3, so radius will be 1.5. Let's apply this. 4/3 pi 1.5, because radius is 1.5, cubed. If I solve it further, it will be 4/3, and 1.5 cube is nothing but 3.75, and we have a pi. If you multiply it together, it will give you 13.5 over 3 pi, and further simplification will give you volume as 9/2 pi cubic feet. I can further simplify it by converting into a decimal by using the value of pi. Pi is nothing but 3.14. I can use this, or I can leave my question here. Let's see whether our answer is right or wrong. See, the volume is 9/2 pi. Checked. Let's try one more. In this particular question, they are asking you find the diameter, and they have given the S. S is what? We have just learned that S is nothing but surface area of a sphere, which is 4 pi r squared. Okay, let's apply that. So surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared, and here they have given us the surface area as 144 pi, and they are asking us to find diameter. They are not asking about radius but diameter, and diameter is nothing but 2 times radius. Keep that thing in mind. So instead of S, let's plug 144 pi is equal to 4 pi r squared. I need to get rid of 4 pi so that I can get the value of r and subsequently d. So let's divide both sides with 4 pi. This will create magic 1, magic 1. I'm left with 144 divided by 4 is equal to r squared. Instead of simplifying it right now, let's take radical both the sides. Why I wanted to take radical both the sides this time? Because I know 144 is nothing but 12 squared and 4 is nothing but 2 squared. So it will make it easier. So if I take the radical both sides, it will be r will be equal to 12 over 2. Now I need diameter, and diameter is nothing but 2 times radius, and radius is 12 over 2. So 2 times 12 over 2, which is nothing but 12 centimeter. This is my answer. Okay, let's try one more. Okay. In this question, they are asking us find the surface area, okay, and the volume of the sphere. Round your answer to the nearest whole number. So they have specifically mentioned that you have to round up your answer to the whole numbers, not to the decimals, not to the hundreds or the tens. Okay. Now, C is given to us. C is nothing but circumference. And we have learned earlier that the circumference of a sphere is the circumference of the great circle. Let's apply the same thing. So, if the circumference of a great circle is given to us, that means this is nothing but the circumference of the whole sphere. And what is the circumference? Circumference is nothing but 2 pi r. And if circumference is given to us, can we find out r? Yes, let's try. So 2 pi r is equal to 10 pi, and I need to isolate r. So divide pi both sides. 2 pi both sides. This will cancel out. 10 divided by 2 is 5, and pi will cross off. So radius is 5. Now I have a radius. Can I apply radius to find out surface area and volume? Okay, try. Okay. So for surface area is nothing but 4 pi r squared, and r is 5. Let's plug the values. 4 pi and 5 squared. If I plug all these information, let's see what we will get. This will be 4. 5 times 5 is 25 pi, which is nothing but 100 pi. And what is the value of pi? We can use value of pi as 3.14. Let's plug it here. 100 times 3.14. So the value of S will be 314 square inches. Okay. One thing is done. We will check our answers later. Now, what they're asking about volume. Let's find the volume. Formula for volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. Again, why cubed? Because it is a volume, and volume is represented in cubic units. Let's plug the value of r. R from here is 5. So 4/3 pi 5 cubed. 4/3 5 cubed is nothing but 125, and then I have a pi. And value of pi is again 3.14. So 4/3 times 125 times 3.14. If I plug it in, it should give me approximately 524 cubic inches. I'm sorry, 524 cubic inches. So this is the volume that I got. Let's check our answers. Okay. 314 surface area, checked. Volume 524, checked. I hope it will help.